Welcome back to the weekly vlog. Today is April the 1st, which of course means it's been a year since I started writing the song The April Fool. The April Fool was a song that I wrote as part of A Song in 7 Days. At the time I described it as a song designed by committee. And looking back to a year ago, the way that I make my vlogs now and the way that I make my content is very, very different to how I did it then. And just like on paper, there were definitely things I didn't tell you about the April Fool. So welcome to part 2 of Secrets of A Song in 7 Days. You know what, I really do love watching the old vlogs back. It's so amazing to see how much things have changed. Apart from the fact that at this time last year, I had a similar facial hair vibe going on. Coincidence? I think not. So let's start with the title of the episode, Absolute Chaos, which was obviously my punny attempt at, chaos theory and the nature of the song going in loads of different directions and all the endless possibilities. But let's talk about this first decision that I made. I've decided that this song is going to be a song designed by committee. So the first thing I'm going to do is call a random contact in my phone and get them to name the song. Okay, so let's talk about this. I obviously didn't pick a random contact from my phone. I knew that I was going to call Louise, and Louise definitely knew that I was going to call her. I was talking to her the night before, and I sent her a message saying, I'm starting a song tomorrow, can I call you up? And can you say that the title of the song should be The April Fool? Hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm not too bad actually. Yeah, I've just got a bit of a random question for you actually. You can probably tell from the awkwardness in the acting, both from my end and hers, that we definitely knew this was going to happen. I'm writing a song for the Song in 7 Days thing, and basically I just need a name for it. I was wondering if maybe you've got any suggestions for what the name should be.
The April Fool.
But I knew that I wanted it to be called The April Fool. It was an obvious choice because it was April and it was April the 1st. The other idea that it conjures in my head is this idea of it being like a psychedelic song, one that doesn't really make any sense and it's a bit sort of all over the place in terms of its meaning. Now this is an interesting bit as well, talking about the idea of it being a psychedelic rock song, because that's what I actually wanted it to be. And one of the next parts of this was obviously putting a poll on Facebook. So what I've done is I've put a poll online so that other people can decide what I actually do with this. So I've given them the option of 60s psychedelic or 70s soft rock. The results are certainly swaying a certain way at this point. I can't say that it's the easier option of the two. So at this point I definitely knew that it was going to be 70s soft rock, and I was definitely disappointed about it as well. I think the reason why I referred to it as not being the easy option was because I'd made a lot of decisions in my head already about what I was going to do with the psychedelic rock song. I really miss the old sofas in the front room. Such an iconic part of the early vlog. So this is a really interesting point to raise. Why did I do an aleatoric song at this point? And the answer to that is that the first 3 vlogs basically just included me talking to camera and not talking to anyone else. So Lizzie suggested that I get as many people involved as possible, and I thought this is the greatest way to go about it. So already, even though Louise isn't actually physically in it, you hear her voice, it's me having a conversation with her. Lizzie and Tim appear in it for the first time, and obviously later on we get an appearance from ABC as well. And I think my dad's in this one later on as well. But yeah, this is the first vlog that I made with other people in it. And one of the things that's really interesting is watching as this vlog goes on, I get more confident with talking to camera. Like, to start off with, it's very sort of awkward and I'm kind of, don't really know where to look. But this is where it turned for me, I think. This is where I started feeling more comfortable actually talking to camera. Also, a little bit of truth for you, I definitely went with the result of the poll. Even though I was really uncomfortable with the idea of 70s soft rock, I went with it, and actually I think the song turned out okay in the end. One of the things that I've explored before, with this vlog in particular, is the idea that somewhere in the space-time continuum, the opposite version of the April Fool exists. I mean, first and foremost, it's a psychedelic rock song, and yeah, it would have had a totally different outcome. Maybe there's something in that. That's amazing.
I don't think I'd like.
Now, the Easter egg obsession is a real thing as well, and it's probably going to be a real problem this year as well. I think Easter was a little bit earlier last year. Either that or it's my imagination. Had Easter already happened by this point? Maybe Easter had already happened by this point. I just remember there are several points in this vlog where we go and buy Easter eggs. and just devour them. And they were definitely all reduced. It wasn't before Easter.
Oh, wow.
All right.
I'm ashamed to say that I was genuinely confused by what Tim was doing with that light. I had absolutely no idea. Now this is potentially the best opening title for a day that I've done in any vlog. The timing of this was just perfect. It was not intentional, and the way it synced up was just great. But yeah, this might be the best moment in all of A Song in 7 Days. Should I write the song on the guitar or at the piano?
Trying to think. I would lead with a guitar.
Okay, well there we are then. Now the decision that Lizzie made here about whether I should write it on the guitar or piano is a really big decision when it comes to my songwriting, because it yields very, very different songs. But this isn't the only decision that was made in this car journey. At this point, we actually decided that Lizzie was going to sing on it, which obviously would have fitted quite nicely into the soft rock vibe. We could have done like a Fleetwood Mac type thing. Now the reason why Lizzie didn't end up singing on this particular track was because of the time flow of this actual vlog. Now originally I wanted this to go over the 7 days, but this is actually one of the first examples where I skipped quite a few days in this vlog, and it will become obvious the more I talk about this. And it directly ties into the month after, the vlog that I made that was called As Long As We're Together. And the song that came out of that, Thicker Than Water, was as a result of losing my grandma. Now if you work backwards, this particular vlog was shot during the last month of her life, and it wasn't a particularly easy time for my family. And the reason why Lizzie didn't actually get to sing on it was because at this time we did a lot of unexpected ferrying around and going to visit people and get things sorted, and it disrupted the plan of the song, and obviously family has to come first. So naturally we hit the pause button on that. And we've said that whenever we watch these vlogs back from this time of year, it is quite an interesting thing to watch back, because there's actually quite a lot of sadness and there's quite a lot of grief behind these in terms of what was actually going on at the time. Also, that's another reason why I chose to do an aleatoric song. I actually wanted to write something that was quite meaningless, that didn't apply to what was going on in my life, because I didn't feel like I wanted to look at it head on. And obviously I did in the next vlog, and it was a good idea, and that was quite a normalising thing. It was a therapeutic thing to write that song. With this, it felt like we're in the eye of the hurricane a bit. It would have been strange to write a song about what was going on at the time. So the April Fool is an interesting song because it is me trying to get as many people involved, but also not write something about what's going on with me exactly at that point, which is why the lyrics are very abstract and they're all over the place. And also why it would have lent itself so nicely to a psychedelic rock song. I don't think I'll ever let that go. And it's really strange because there are so many nice moments in this vlog, including the point where Lizzie shouts milk, which has become a bit of a family meme. Easter egg. And also the bit where Tim talks about calcium. Look at that.
I wonder if you could refine elemental calcium from milk. I wonder how much milk you'd need. Because calcium...
I'm pretty sure that I did a long cut version of that for his birthday and put it on his Facebook. But yeah, some fantastic moments in this. Now the next bit with me and the Easter egg and trying to smash it, that was genuinely unsuccessful, and I was really disappointed with that because I just wanted to obliterate the egg. That's kind of my Easter egg technique. I'm not a big fan of... I like to just destroy the egg and then eat the pieces. Yeah, and I also know it's very, very strange. I can't believe it. I couldn't do it in one. Oh dear. That is satisfying though, isn't it, actually? Potentially, I think the Easter eggs were a coping mechanism for what we were going through at the time, actually, looking back. The Easter eggs that we talk about in this clip, I think there's like maybe 5 or 6, they were gone by the end of the day, like easily. See, I told you, that is literally us eating those Easter eggs that evening. So this was obviously the first 2-parter that I'd done, and it was also the first episode where I started doing the Roman numerals, which is obviously a nod to Star Wars. Why wouldn't I have done that? But yeah, this day, I remember the day very vividly when I went to ABC's to record the drums, because it was a beautiful day. I mean, like, it was so hot. And I drove there with the windows down. I think I was listening to Motion in the Ocean, the McFly album. And I really enjoyed that. It's just a really nice drive over there. Just one of those moments that you really savour. And I remember getting there and setting up the drums and stuff like that, and kind of getting through the awkwardness of vlogging with Alex for the first time. And it was fantastic. It was a great experience. This was definitely one of the best days of the vlog and of the writing process. ABC was so good at coaching me through this. You would not believe how much we had to break it up though, because I am a terrible drummer. It probably doesn't come across in the track, but we were almost going like bar by bar at certain points. I think the Logic file for this was so big that I was worried it was going to come back on the same hard drive because we'd added that much to it. But it was great to sit with him afterwards as well and do that kind of interview style thing and sort of have a laugh about what we'd done, talk about the projects that we'd been through. And it was actually quite hard to find some of that older footage, but I really like the nostalgic vibe of that. It was nice to put this together, to go and look back at that older stuff that me and ABC had done over the years. Alex, if you were to catch one fish from the sea, what would it be?
Well, the fish that I'd want to catch, because I'm actually an avid fisherman in the summer, me and my dad, it wouldn't be in the sea, it'd be in a pond. I'd like to catch a common carp.
Yeah, that's it, Choco Mel.
$24.99 delivered to your door.
Really? How many did you buy?
24.
What cans of it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, decent. That's pretty good, actually.
You can get the bottles as well, the glass bottles and the plastic bottles.
Now, the next time that I actually had Stroop waffles and Choco Mel after this was when I was in Amsterdam in early August with Samo, and we were sat on the steps of a supermarket, and it was so unbelievably hot. It was a lot hotter than this day. We've purchased some Choco Mel. It was actually cheaper to buy it in a carton than it was.
300ml bottle.
Yeah, we've done quite well there.
These are litre cartons.
They are. We got a litre of it. And obviously we didn't have the Choco Mel heated up. But there you go, there are not one but two Choco Mel references in my vlog so far. Interesting fact. The greatness of this drink cannot be understated. It is amazing. It's such a fantastic drink. Hot or cold, with or without Stroop waffle. I can feel heat coming through it actually, that's quite remarkable.
The magic of the Stroop, mate.
The nature of chaos and the nature of things like that. How many different songs could exist at this point?
How many decisions have been made?
But this conversation here, as well as obviously being riddled with Jurassic Park references, I tell Tim to work out how many possible versions of the song would exist at this point. And he makes the calculation based on the fact that Lizzie will sing on it, which obviously doesn't happen. So Tim technically makes this calculation wrong. And that's my fault, because I obviously removed the bit which said, oh, Lizzie's singing on it is an option. So there's just a really blatant bit of bad maths here, which is obviously really funny because Tim is a mathematician and an excellent one at that. It just makes it look like he's got something really basically wrong, and no one's ever said anything about this. Now this is the point where days start to skip, and I wonder if it's obvious from the footage, because I did everything that I could to try and conceal it. Anytime I was in shot, I wore the same clothes. I tried to do my hair the same. I wasn't keen on giving away the fact that I was actually, you know, not writing a song in 7 days. But I can honestly say on the days when I wasn't writing, I wasn't thinking about this song at all. There was no reflecting going on. It was all very, very go at this point. Uncharacteristically late for writing the lyrics. Day 6. I don't think I ever did that again. But overall, I was really pleased with the result of the April Fool. And looking back, it wasn't a real time for honesty when it came to this kind of storytelling. The bare bones are there. You can see how the song appeared. And most of the decisions that are there are real decisions. They are real aleatoric decisions. But hopefully, what I've told you about gives you a slightly more honest perspective on what was going on and those little pieces that are missing. And of course, if you haven't already, I urge you to watch the full 2 parts of the vlog and of course listen to the song. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming next week. Thanks for watching.